Hey, what's going on, everybody? Suru here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're actually on video number 3, so sorry for blowing up your feed, but they dropped some new stuff on us today I wasn't expecting. We did get a new, event, and it was not something in-game, but it is something you can do on Discord or website. So we're going to go through the actual storyline. It's like an interactive story that you can do, and I'm excited to do it. And we also got a bunch of codes which gave us some free items. So on the screen right now is all 9 codes where you could just type it in and you get the free items. So this is everything you can actually obtain from the event. So there's the codes. If you guys do find this video helpful or those codes helpful, please be sure to hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and let's just dive straight into this. Here we go. Festival of Foolishness. Long before the forgetting, there was a festival dedicated to trickery and nonsense each year. As you've repelled the forgetting, memories of the Festival of Foolishness return to all villagers, and they can't wait to lightheartedly prank their friends and neighbors. Depending on the choices you make in this interactive story, you'll decide how the festival plays out, and can even claim rewards through a variety of codes you may find along the way. This adventure will only be available from July 16th to August 16th, so make sure to take part in this limited time event. Alright, here we go. Start the story. Alright, it looks like we have the codes right here, so we found 0. There's 9 total. It says, you yawn, sun dappling your face through the trees as you stretch luxuriously. Even the stone and wood furnishings in Dreamlight Valley are absurdly comfortable, and it's hard to resist the urge, on occasion, to take a nice afternoon nap. But now, you notice 2 shrubs, one quite small and one quite large, that you've reasonably sure weren't there when you sat down. The smaller shrub twitches a little as it is full of unbounded energy, and you hear the larger shrub whisper, remember, sneaky feet. Alright, so I could see both of you there. Or, maybe I'll go back to sleep. I definitely would confront them, so I'm gonna go with I can see both of you there. You cross your arms and stand up as you speak. Nobody's getting the drop on you today. In response, Vanellope's angry face pops up through the foliage of the smaller shrub. Sully, you said your sneaky feet would grant us at least a +10 stealth bonus, but we've been totally made. In response, the larger shrub shakes a little, and the blue and purple furred form of Sully is visible for a short moment through the leaves. You're doing great so far, but it takes a while to properly master the art of sneaky feet. I had Mike drilling me on them every night for ages. Alright, you guys want to come out now? You hear a groan of frustration come from the smaller shrub, and after a moment, Vanellope and Sully burst out from their hiding spots. Vanellope brushes a stray leaf from her shirt and looks up at you. Now tell me, chum, how did you just feel? Did you feel pranked, or were you overcome with the fear that a prank might be coming your way? Oh yeah, totally pranked, or definitely worried about what you were planning. Vanellope grins and pumps her fist in victory. Yes, that's 1 down. Wait, is it the day I think it is? Sully chuckles, his powerful voice rumbling the air around you. Yup, it's the Festival of Foolishness. I'm giving Vanellope a hand with things this year, and she has got big plans. Vanellope gives you a mischievous grin and crosses her arms defiantly. Humongous plans! Stitch and Donald won't stop talking about how they pranked everyone last year, so we're gonna show them up. You scratch your head a little, confused by the development. You're going to prank everyone by disguising yourselves as shrubs. Vanellope laughs, a mischievous twinkle in her eye. Nah, we're gonna prank everyone by not pranking them. Go on. Sully gives Vanellope a light pat on the shoulder as she puts on her best mischievous grin. She's got a pretty great idea. If you look around, everyone's on edge right now, wondering if they're about to be pranked, right? But then they see us, clearly up to something, and, well, let's just say it takes me back to my MU days, when I was taking a lessons in dramatic tension class. Vanellope jumps up and gives Sully a little high five, and a 16-bit fanfare plays. Exactly. I've got the radical creativity and the big guy's got the book of learning. We're a perfect team. Want to join us in our non-pranking pranks? Sounds great. I think I like classic pranks a little bit more. Sully gives you a smile as Penelope hides back into her shrub, calling back to you. Works for me. The more classic pranks happening, the more people will worry about us. And with a flourish, Sully vanishes into the foliage as well. They trundled off into the distance, and you hear Sully coaching Penelope in the use of sneaky feet. Your mind a whirl with possible pranks, you stretch your legs and head into the center of the valley. You see Daisy, who seems to be constantly looking over her shoulder. It's time to meet Daisy. Hi Daisy, how are you? Daisy jumps at you cheerful call and turns to meet you. She smooths her blouse, clearly trying to manage some worries. Oh, hello. Sorry if I seem a bit skittish. It's just that I've heard things about today. Apparently, it's a yearly holiday involving playing horrible tricks. Who would want to think of such a thing? Daisy has angrily placed her hands on her hips. Clearly, she is not pleased. It's the Festival of Foolishness. People play pranks on each other. It's all in good fun and just for today. Daisy heaves a dramatic sigh and turns to look over the rest of the valley where you can just make out people going about their business. Maybe this is an opportunity to initiate Daisy into this Dreamlight tradition. So we could try a classic prank on Daisy or try a abstract prank on Daisy. Let's go with classic. We got our first code right here. Daisy looks at you with sudden suspicion in her eyes. Wait. You wouldn't prank me, would you? Of course not. You reply with a reassuring grin. Well, that's good, she says with relief as she turns to look down at the rest of the valley. You figure that this is an opportunity. You whisper a dreamlight incantation and a beautiful fish motif floats into the air and soundlessly attaches itself to the back of Daisy's designer blouse. Thanks for letting me know about the festival, she says cheerfully. Now I'm off for a girl's day with Minnie. Toodles. You wave goodbye to Daisy as she walks away, the fish on her back moving jauntily with her confident walk. As you head off to find someone else to prank, you notice a basket of fresh baked soufflés on the ground. You're not sure where they came from, but you grab a couple and keep your energized for the day of pranks you have ahead. We got a code right here, soufflés 24. It's time to see who else to prank. A grin of mischief spreading across your face, you find a good vantage spot and look down into the valley, spying which villagers are about and possibly the next recipients for a fun prank. You see, Jack Skellington is being harangued by Gaston as the skeleton struggles under a barbell loaded with coconut weights. Belle is deep in conversation with Stitch, diligently taking notes as he speaks. Mike Wazowski stands watching the beast perform the same action over and over again, occasionally offering comment. Remy has opened a cookbook larger than himself and seems to be showing certain pages to Eve. We should go to Jack Skellington and Gaston, go see Belle and Stitch, or go see the Beast and Mike Wazowski, and lastly, go see Eve and Remy. Let's go take a look at Jack and Gaston. Come on, one more, that's it, you've almost finished. You amble down into the plaza where you find Gaston bellowing at Jack Skellington, who's currently stretched out under a dumbbell. Hey you two, what's going on? Gaston turns towards you with his usual swagger. I have started a fitness course, and Jack here is the first student. Those bony arms of his are painfully thin, but with my training, he'll soon have proper muscles. You glance over at Jack, who is now easily pumping the dumbbell up and down with one arm. Oh, how is Jack progressing? Gaston turns back, and in an instant, Jack is back under the barbell, his skeletal frame shaking with fiend effort. Not well, I'm afraid. Sully and Vanellope were skulking about before. I think they're up to something, and it's rather distracting, but Gaston won't let me give up. Would you like to help? You glance between the frustrated Gaston and the mischievous Jack Skellington, trying to decide on your course of action. Sure, I've got an idea. Jack is the best prank target. Gaston needs to be pranked. Obviously, the correct choice is Gaston. Regardless of how nice people are to him, his arrogance continues unabated. So you figured it's time that he be taken down a peg or two. Now to think of a perfect type of prank for Gaston. We're gonna mess with Gaston's head. Of course, it needs to be something that messes with Gaston's head. You pause for a moment to think and then it hits you. Hey Jack, it looks like you're not seeing much in terms of gains, are you? Jack shoots you a quizzical look, but after a wink he grins and follows along with your plan. No, nothing, and we've been at this all morning. Gaston scowls, crossing his arms over his chest. Clearly, this is all your fault. When I trained others, I always see impressive neck results in under an hour. Jack heaves a dramatic sigh and circles his spinal column between his thumbs and his smallest finger. No change here, still just bones. You sigh as well and turn back to Gaston. Little warning, Gaston, you say in a stage whisper, making sure that Jack hears you. I think that Jack has been making friends with Maui. I'm sure you don't want Maui hearing about your lack of training skills. Gaston blanches in horror and turns back to Jack. Keep going, Jack. I know that your impressive neck gains are right around the corner. Jack feigns difficulty with the current weights. Perhaps I need some motivation. Can you sing? Gaston's eyes seem like they're about to burst from his face. Sing? Why would I sing? You shrug and help Jack reset the weights, offering a thought. Well, I know that Maui is quite the musical demigod. If musical motivation is what Jack needs to work out properly, I bet Maui would be happy to help. You and Jack hold back laughter and Gaston looks horrified and begins doing vocal warm-ups. No, I can do this. Stay here, Jack. No need to talk to Maui about this. Smiling with a job well done, you continue along into the valley, eyes open for another person to prank. Got our second code here. As you leave Jack and Gaston, you stumble upon a pile of iron and coconuts oddly lashed together. You imagine this must be one of Gaston's failed attempts at making new workout equipment to help Jack. Guessing he won't miss them anytime soon, you stash his contraption. It might come in handy for a future prank. You continue your wandering through the valley, pleased with your successful prank. After a short while, you come across Merlin, who seems hard at work. Hey Merlin, what are you up to today? Merlin looks at you with suspicious fingers combing through his beard nervously. Normally, I would be delighted to confide in you, but today, well, I find myself quite suspicious of everyone. Sully and Vanellope at the very least are up to something and it worries me. You give a cheerful laugh and approach with a reassuring gesture. It's okay, Merlin, I'm not helping them prank people, you can tell me. Well, I suppose if I can trust anyone, it's you, Merlin says with a sigh. You see, I'm trying to get ahead of the other villagers and prank them before they prank me. You nod sagely. Very wise, Merlin. We don't want you getting pranked either. But that's not exactly honest, and you're already thinking of ways to prank Merlin. Time for a classic Merlin prank. You've got it. A little callback to the pranks from last year is in order. So you whisper a dreamlight incantation and multicolored glitter begins to flow up from around the grass at your feet. A little twist of a finger, the glitter coalesces with a shimmering column and you send it at Merlin's robes. But it just rolls off like water off of Donald's back. With a delightful cackle, Merlin turns to face you. Ha! You think you could get me with glitter, did you? Well, you'll have to try harder than that. You laugh and shake your head in resignation. Alright, you got me, Merlin. How did you stop the glitter magic? Well, I was expecting someone to try and glitter me, so I applied a thin layer of reflective magic to my robes to repel it instantly. I'm glad this incantation worked, but I'm still quite worried about other potential pranks in the works. Content, that's the end of you pranking him for this year. Merlin shares a small gift with you, a collection of dream and night shards to aid in your own pranks. You frown, feeling a twinge of guilt as how worried Merlin seems now. Should you come clean and tell him about Vanellope and Sully's real plan? Or perhaps this is the price all the villagers must pay for a proper Festival of Foolishness. It's time to come clean. Merlin, you say hesitantly. Yes, he replies. Is there something else? I gotta be honest with you. I know what Sully and Vanellope are up to. Merlin's eyebrows raised to the point that they vanished under the edge of his wizard's cap. Well now, what are they plotting? It's actually kind of clever. They're not actually pranking anyone. Instead, they're just making everyone think that they have some massive plan in the works. Merlin begins to tap his chin in thought. Well, thank you for being honest, he says with a smile. I think I know just what to do with those rapscallions. Let's see now. Higgitus figitus. Magic surges around Merlin, swirling into the air and sets off into the valley. You said slightly worried. What was that? Merlin just gives you a grin in response. Oh, nothing you need to worry about, but you should get a fun surprise later. Please give me regards to the other pranksters. You shrug as Merlin walks off, humming a tune under his breath. You're not really sure what Merlin is planning, but you suppose you'll find out eventually. For now, there's still time for some more villagers to prank. Feeling a little bit richer and glad you told Merlin about Vanellope and Sully's plans? You head out. There's still time to find more villagers to prank. You continue to wander and you soon come across Scar and Mother Gothel, both hiding behind a tree and talking to each other in whispers. Hi Scar, hi Mother Gothel, you say as you approach. How are you two doing today? Oh, it's you, says Scar with his usual sneer. Are you enjoying the festival? How can you be, says Mother Gothel with a laugh. I'm sure you're falling for every prank there is. You're about to reply when she waves her response away with a dismissive gesture. Oh, don't look so sad. I'm just teasing. You sigh, rubbing at the bridge of your nose to deal with the headache that always seems to threaten when you speak with Mother Gothel. I guess you two are planning a prank as well, you ask, crossing your arms. Indeed, rumbles Scar. We are devising a prank for Simba and Rapunzel. Would you like to exchange ideas? Of course you'd love to help, laughs Mother Gothel as she steps up to your side. Her next words are whispers in your ear. I'm actually working on something for this arrogant alley cat. Be a dear and hear me out, won't you? You give Mother Gothel a glance with a raised eyebrow as she continues to laugh and walks to the side for a moment to pick a flower. Scar takes the moment to draw closer to you as well, his deep voice of soft rumble as he whispers as well. I'm sure you can appreciate how infuriating that woman is. Help me turn the tables on her. Well, now this poses some opportunities. Two villains, both hard at work trying to prank each other while pretending innocence. You can work with this. We can prank Scar, we can prank Mother Gothel, but we're going to prank both at once. You barely have to consider before you realize that this could be an opportunity to prank both of them. It might stretch your pranking skills to their limits, but the chance of foolishness is just too high. But now, to prank both at once, we gotta mess with their minds. The pair exchange a glance and draw closer. Well, I've been thinking, what if something happens and I get locked out of Dreamlight Valley again? We need to have someone ready to defend the valley, should any catastrophe occur. I've been thinking that I need to name an official heir, and I think it should be one of you two. Scar nearly begins to purr, and Mother Gothel puts on a concerned look that only barely disguises her greed. The thing is, you continue, I'm still not sure who I should pick. I think you two should discuss it and decide who's more worthy of being the Dreamlight ruler. Of course it should be me, says Scar, raising a paw to his tawny chest. I am from a great line of kings, and I am quite familiar with what it takes to rule over others. Don't be ridiculous, says Mother Gothel, stepping forward. Obviously, you need someone brilliant, someone adept at convincing others to follow their lead. I'm clearly the better candidate. Scar snarls, looking like he's about to pounce. We all know how you treated Rapunzel, he says with disdain. Is that how you would treat the other villagers? Ah, replies Mother Gothel, waving away Scar's point. Can you imagine how rich that poor girl would have become without me? I made her everything she is today. Besides, if we left the valley in your paws, it would be a wasteland in no time. You grin and begin to tiptoe away, a chorus of squabbling villains slowly getting quieter behind you. As you continue your way, you almost crash into what you are pretty sure is supposed to be Ursula, but built out of snow and bits of bobs from around the valley. Sensing this was Olaf's attempt at giving someone a good scare, you decide you can't have Ursula stumbling upon it and unleashing her own pranks on the valley, or adding Olaf to her garden. You rearrange the sculpture to resemble Maui, pocketing some of the materials. Best case, Maui loves it. Worst case, he complains Olaf didn't capture his true impressiveness in snow form. As you return to the plaza, you see that all the villagers have gathered and are hotly discussing something. Merlin, Sully, and Vanellope seem to be at the center of things. What's happening? You walk in closer. They hid my microphone, shouts Remy angrily, pointing a tiny finger at Vanellope and Sully. And they replaced my trivia book with a book of incorrect trivia, bemoans Olaf. You reach the group and sidle into the mass of people. Hey, what's going on here? You asked. It's Vanellope and Sully, says Elsa with a frown. Their pranks have been a bit extreme. One of my ice sculptures is... Actually, I'd rather not say. You shoot a glance at Vanellope and Sully, who seem both confused and alarmed. Sully, Vanellope, did you actually pull off these pranks? I thought... No way, says Vanellope as an angry stomp of her foot. The whole point of our prank was that we weren't doing any pranks for real. Then what happened to the microphone? Shouts Remy. In the mess of voices, you begin to hear a low cackle. You peer through the crowd and to find that Merlin has been quietly laughing the whole time. Merlin? You say, drawing closer. What's going on? Do you know anything about this? It's my finest work yet, he crows, hopping from one leg to another in joy. An incredible experimentation with dreamlight magic for a wonderful cause. Foolishness. What did you do? Oh, it's simple, he continued with a knowing wink. Though it did require magic involving multiple alternate dimensions, I made all of Sully and Vanellope's pranks real. You can't help but laugh. The pranksters trying to trick people by not actually pranking ended up pulling pranks without their knowledge. Vanellope laughs and walks closer to Merlin. Nice one, Beardy. I can't even complain about that. You really got us. Well, says Merlin with a smile in your direction, I couldn't have done it alone. I almost didn't figure out what you were up to. Hiya, pals, says Mickey, approaching you with a wave. Now that the mystery of Vanellope and Sully's pranks have been cleared up, we thought we'd discuss who had the best foolishness of the day. Daisy steps forward and thought she shoots you a little glare. It quickly turns into a smile. As the first person to be pranked, she says, I'm quite happy to announce that you have reached the peak of foolishness today. But what kind of foolishness? Did you follow the classic line of pranks? Or like Vanellope and Sully, did you try to turn over a new leaf of foolishness? I've been canvassing the valley and interviewing everyone I found. Based on my interviews, Daisy continues, I'd say you've reached the peak of classic foolishness. Your crown will be here shortly. Classic prank ending. My crown, you say in disbelief. Really? Daisy just nods and motions into the distance where you can see something moving. You squint your eyes, but you can't really make it out yet. You look around you, and all the villagers seem to be waiting with bated breath. With a confused frown, you turn back to the approaching figure. It seems to be about waist high and purple, covered in strange curling vines. It seems to have trouble walking, and it's at the bottom. It seems to be white and fluffy. Oh, says the figure as it draws closer. I am a Nightthorn. Beware! In fact, I'm much worse than the other Nightthorns, as I've grown legs and can walk around. You restrain a snort of laughter and turn to the other villagers, but they have all begun to react as well. Oh no, a Nightthorn! Huh? What's happening to my memories? They're slipping away! What's my name? I've forgotten it. What's your name? You smile at the overreacting villagers. It's also painfully clear that this is Olaf, bundled in a hastily constructed Nightthorn costume. Still, maybe this is an opportunity for one last prank. It's time for an anti-prank ending. Don't worry, everyone, you say, adopting a heroic posture. I'll take care of this pesky Nightthorn. You hear some suppressed giggles behind you, but you walk towards the Nightthorn and raise your arms, letting dreamlight magic cascade down on it. Predictably, nothing happens. Let me try that again. You say to a more badly suppressed giggle. Dreamlight magic again flows out over the skies, Olaf. Again, nothing happens. You heavy a dramatic sigh, letting your head hang down. I'm so sorry, you say, turning to the face of the massive villagers. I failed you all, and clearly Dreamlight Magic has failed me. I don't know what went wrong, but I can't ignore the facts. I'm no longer worthy to be here. A dramatic collective gasp answers you. You suppress a grin and carry on. I must step down as ruler. I will surrender my royal tools to Merlin and then leave Dreamlight Valley forever. No, wait! You look down to see Olaf has torn off his costume and is rushing towards you. It was a joke. Don't leave. You laugh and bend down to give Olaf a hug. Don't worry, Olaf. I'm not going anywhere. I just saw through the prank and thought I'd have some fun. Merlin laughs and steps forward, patting Olaf on the shoulder as well. Well, that's what we get for trying to prank the best prankster in the village. The end. And yeah, we got the classic prank ending. We got another code here, so we were able to get 6 out of 9 through our first run. Now you can play this story multiple times, and that was actually pretty good. It was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. And it was actually really, really good. I like how they brought in a lot of characters, and I could actually kind of visualize, and I think that's what's cool about these interactive stories is all of us, since we can't see what's on the screen, we can all just kind of visualize the story and the storytelling within it. And for me, the whole time I was reading this, I was visualizing this as I went. So I kind of like these things, even though it's not like an in-game event. I found this really fun. And we could also play again if we wanted to do another story. I, of course, won't for this one. I don't want to make my videos super long. Maybe if you guys enjoy it, I might do a different one, another video. But yeah, that was really, really fun. And then let's see if we can check our codes. So these are the codes that we have found so far. And I did post all of them at the beginning. So we did get a lot of them. That is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me read to you for like half an hour. I'm sorry if I stumbled on some of my words. There was a lot to read, but I really do appreciate you guys, especially if you made it to the end of this video. That means a lot to me that you watched this video in its entirety. It really does mean a lot to me, but I hope you guys have a really great day. I have a couple more videos posted today if you guys want to check those out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.